This is going to be more or less a proof of concept, doesn't need to happen, but I'm tearing this engine down, and I was wondering, as when we worked at the shop, we always had these small aluminum cylinder heads, usually like little 2-cylinder aluminum cylinder heads, and I want to see if I can use the lathe and get the lathe to plane out or cylinder heads. But a couple things need to happen first before you can get along and go ahead and do that. So first, we need to mount it. So easy enough. Take this guy, bolt it to this guy. But the problem is, I don't know if this surface, even though, it looks flat, I don't know if it is flat. So what I want to do first is I want to make this a flat surface. What we're going to do first is we're going to take this and bolt this like this to here. And we're actually going to plane this side first. Or I guess it's not plane, but cut this side first. So that when I bolt it to this side, then I know that it's sitting on there nice, flush, and flat to cut this side. Okay, so now that we got this mounted, one thing also is, oh, well, how do you know that this is flat? Well, it's supposed to be. And if it's blown out, say that you got a blown head gasket, it usually blows between the cylinders, something like that. The entire surface, which was true and flat at one point, is very unlikely to be completely wallered out and fuckered to the point where it's going to make this no longer accurate. Besides, this is a single cylinder aluminum head. The tolerances and the precision behind this aren't exactly, 1,000 horsepower rated. So let's take it with a little bit of a grain of salt here. If you're a machinist or you're a mechanic and you're trying to make something happen, make something work, this just might be an option. So let's go ahead. Now that I got this mounted, let's see what we can do. Boy, does that look unnerving. Alright, so I'm a couple passes in. We'll stop her here in a second. Alrighty. See what we got. Okay. See, we got a nice clean surface here. Looks like the whole way around, and barely took off any. I'm not even down to all of the cooling fins here, so no need to fret that there's been too much material taken away. I really didn't have to take out much. So, now what we'll be able to do... Bullsack! Now what we'll be able to do is take this guy, flip her around, but that's going to present a problem, because here I just bolt and nutted it, because, the bolt heads were recessed. On the other side, it's got to be completely flat. I'm not going to have that ability, but I do have an idea. So, let's continue. My idea was, simply, we'll just tap to the holes, which the even better part is, a 7/16/16 tap fit perfectly in here without even have to drill them out, make them any bigger or anything like that, because I don't need like a ridiculous amount of torque or anything like that. I just need something to hold it steady and in place well enough for the lathe. But it just so happened on this particular cylinder head, these were already the exact size, which was 23/64 for this. So tapped out, it's not going to affect the bolt or anything going in or compromise any integrity in any way. So let's see if we can mount this on the plate, get it on the lathe, and see what happens next. Okay, so we got this mounted. Let's spin it up, and it's definitely off center. It's as close to it as I can get. Alright, now the big thing here is we don't really want to screw with compression or anything like that, so we want to take off as minimal as possible. So I have it, I think, where I'm just barely going to be skimming by, I hope. Yep, right there. And so it just started, you can see, and so let's see what happens after a single really light pass. Boy, you sure can see here. I'm really hoping that it's not just because this isn't, which it probably is, this isn't dead nuts, laid in flat and plumb, but we're still getting ourselves of the flat surface that we need. You can see a little bit along where the head gasket used to seal, but in the same sense too, we might have very well not been very flat to begin with. How about next time or on the other cylinder head as a 2-cylinder, how about I check to make sure if it's flat or not first, just to see. And yeah, so let's take another kind of a skim coat, and I'm just going to be just taking off just enough to get down to the fresh aluminum here, and then we'll know that we're good. And I don't want to go any deeper than that. Alrighty, space heater's on, but I went down just another, I think, about 3 thousandths, and that cleaned up the rest of the cylinder head. That makes me feel better that I wasn't, you know, horribly off, and this wasn't horribly off either. So we got a nice, fresh, true, clean surface to work with. Alright, I bet you the engine will be happy. So yeah, that's the proof of concept there, and it appears to work. I mean, there's definitely room for improvement, but yeah, this is something to keep in mind. Alrighty.